Why your favorite AI tools do not exist without this. If you ever use ChatGPT, an AI agent, or an automation tool, there's a company you've never seen that makes every single one of them possible. And without it, AI doesn't just slow down, it stops. Hi, I'm King Edison, and most people using AI today have no idea what actually makes it work. They think that AI lives in the cloud, or they think it's just like software, and they think it's like prompts and interfaces. Well, that's sort of all wrong. And today we're going to be covering how and why it's all developed. So every AI tool you recognize, like every agent, every automation, every like smart system, starts to make sense in everything. So all these things really depend on a physical execution layer. And in today's video, we're going to be showing you exactly what this layer is, how it's all developed, what it's put together, and you get another little understanding of this whole AI system and everything, the frameworks, the tools, and how it all functions. And we're going to be covering the companies that quietly sit underneath the entire AI economy. So let's begin and shoot into this whole AI innovation video here for King Edison AI. And so we're going to be starting with what a lot of people think they know about Google, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Meta, AI agents. How about some of the like builders like Lindy or Lovable, Make, Zapier, Opus, N8N? There's a ton of them out there, right? Different products, there's different interfaces, and there's different use cases. And right now, it's sort of the craze as far as what AI can do, but how it can automate businesses and services, and for a lot of the connected sales stuff, sales processes, right? So let's get underneath it all a little bit and see how they rely on sort of the execution and the reality of this. Because intelligence doesn't live in software; it actually lives in the computing process of this. So here's the question almost nobody asks: where does the AI actually run when you're hitting the prompts and you're hitting the enter bar on ChatGPT or Perplexity or something? Where does the AI actually run? So not the app, not the UI, and not the brand or the app, right, that you bought into your membership from. So where does the thinking actually happen? Every time ChatGPT answers a question, every time an AI agent reasons through like steps and processes, every time an automation decides what to do next and follows those little queries, there's an enormous amount of math happening in real time. And that math must be executed extremely fast in parallel at massive scales without failure. And if it fails, right, we get these error things. We get these refresh buttons that sit there and refreshing, and you're frustrated. So this is not something normal computers can do. So if you've ever heard of Nvidia, that's the company we're going to be covering and dialing into a little bit. Nvidia builds the processors that execute the AI math, not normal processors. They build GPUs designed specifically for parallel computation, matrix complications, and like neural network workloads. As we get into this whole AI agent things where we used to have a few, now we have a dozen, now we have a couple hundred doing all these tasks. These AI modes just don't like think like humans. They calculate probabilities across billions of trillions of numbers. It's starting to get really, really crazy and very, very interesting. So the math is run on NVIDIA's GPUs. And without those GPUs, chat GPTs cannot respond in real time. AI agents become slow or unusable. We never want that in the sales process, right? Where we tied in an AI agent on like answering phones or incoming phones, especially in the sales processes, and it just lags, it's delayed, it stops, or it just has errors. You're thinking, darn it, right? There goes whatever that sale was for. So when you type into ChatGPT, your request hit a server and a massive model runs interference on billions of parameters, which are all evaluated in responses and generated into milliseconds, but also dissected. Right, we got a task, and it gets into all these like variables: yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and it goes into these streams. That only works because NVIDIA's GPUs process thousands of operations simultaneously, right? It's getting really, really complex. Memory bandwidth keeps data moving, and systems and apps costs stay low enough to scale to the public. So now let's take AI agents, and AI agents just don't answer once, right? They think. If you've noticed on ChatGPT how it's got thinking mode, they think, they plan, they go into these yes no variables, yes no, and they go on these tasks, right? They check tools, they take actions, they observe results, they take those results, and then they have like the programs behind that to take action on those. So that requires continuous communications. Without NVIDIA's level acceleration, agents lag and costs explode, systems break, and repetitive errors over and over and over. And that's why every serious AI agent and their, what would it be called, their program platform runs on NVIDIA's hardware somewhere in the stack. So here's the part most people never hear of, and it's NVIDIA's. It doesn't just build hardware; they build CUDA, C-U-D-A, a software platform that tells AI frameworks how to use NVIDIA's GPUs efficiently. So if you've ever heard of some of these companies like PyTorch, TensorFlow, and JAX, there's a ton of them. Um, Companies like that, they all rely on CUDA under the hood, like under the car, right? And the engine. That means AI developers didn't just prefer NVIDIA, they're built for it. And once AI systems are optimized for CUDA, switching away becomes slow, expensive, and very, very risky. And you can see how NVIDIA is really leveraging this world economy on AI on their build out of all these chips. And so it's not really like marketing dominance, it's architectural dominance. NVIDIA doesn't just manufacture its own chips, it is designing a world of fabrication, is what NVIDIA is. A fabless semiconductor company, and they design these chips and they control the architecture. And as we progress every like week, they're getting better and better and better, optimizing things and retooling things. It's pretty brilliant. But the physical manufacturing actually happens elsewhere. So I wanted to clear up this on the manufacturing side of NVIDIA and give everyone a little bit of an idea of how that's all like put together. Most advanced NVIDIA chips are manufactured, and they're manufactured by not NVIDIA, it's outsourced to companies like TSMC. TSMC primarily in Taiwan with operations all across Asia. Now, TSMC is the only company on earth capable of producing chips at the precision AI requires. And that's just because of the knowledge base and the learning and the capabilities of what has to go into those, but also how the development has to happen next week, next month. NVIDIA designs the intelligence engines, and that's the US, right? It's focused in the US. TSMC fabricates it, so that's in Taiwan and Asia. And then AI deploys it globally. So, like brands and apps, memberships offer usage to their paid memberships or their corporations. This is why semiconductors are now a geopolitical issue. If you've seen all this research nowadays and news on NVIDIA and semiconductors and energy and who's bidding for all this, that's literally the reason why. It's getting very, very quick, fast paced, right? Some of these companies are scaling very, very quick. So as we get into some clarity and stuff, because we hear a lot about China, right? And China and chips and who's controlling the market. Well, China, NVIDIA does sell restricted versions of the chips due to export controls in the certain markets, like in the like China market. So it's not the advanced manufacturing base. Um, NVIDIA is also in and around Europe. So it has research and engineering and AI partnerships all across Europe. Very, very critical for development and fabrication. Design and control stay within Nvidia, and then the manufacturing precision stays with TSMC. And that division is the entire systems. NVIDIA doesn't just make AI intelligence, they make intelligence runnable, right, at the consumer level. So without NVIDIA, ChatGPT doesn't respond, AI agents don't reason, and automation doesn't even happen. I didn't create this content for casual users, and I didn't design for what I'm about to share with you for small teams running on trials and free credits of all these AI or AI buildouts or AI agents. I built a masterclass called How the King Leverages AI. And inside it, I break down the simple, easy to start AI infrastructure to scale your organization. How sophisticated AI agents and automations are designed and monitored for success, how executive teams like myself restructure time, decision making, and leverage using AI, and how corporations train their people to work with AI, not compete against it. This is not for mom and pop businesses. And I have a small survey that weeds out individuals that I don't work with. Teams under 20 people usually don't have the budget, the data volume, or the operations complexity to deploy AI correctly and allocate thousands of dollars or more on credits, build outs, and like training their models. So this is for seven-figure and eight-figure companies and organizations and founders running real teams, executives who want AI to multiply SOPs and repetitive tasks, improve communications, increase sales, develop knowledge based references and libraries for your platforms to thrive off of. So, if you want your company to step out of the shadows of your competitors and start dominating your industry with intelligent systems, you want to join my King Edison masterclass. I put the link down below for a masterclass that you are really going to enjoy. So I'll see you inside. If you like this video on NVIDIA and how the whole chat AI agents are built at a user level and going back to see what's really behind all this and the build out at NVIDIA, the chips, and how they're all designed, throw a like or a subscribe down below. We really appreciate here at King Edison AI. We'll see you on the next video where we talk about AI innovations, automations to scale and grow your company and your organizations.